Here are the test scores for the guy you filled out the form for. He scored a B minus. This guy is a risky bet. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10 dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10 dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is much better at talking about grand plans than making them happen. While he might impress people with his ideas and stories, he doesn't usually follow through with steady work or grit. When faced with tough choices or deadlines, he's likely to step away and avoid confronting problems.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he tends to withdraw instead of fighting through the problems. Rather than bouncing back quickly, he's likely to say, I can't deal with this and pull away from the situation. You won't see him yelling or acting out, but he might become quiet, distant, and avoid responsibility.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work probably see him as quiet and a bit distant rather than someone who's in the middle of fights. He doesn't go out of his way to be friendly or help others and sometimes comes across as blunt or not very caring. You won't hear about big arguments, but he won't be the one everyone turns to for help or advice.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you succeed in your career, he might say he's happy for you, but deep down he may feel a little uncomfortable. He's not openly jealous or angry, but your achievement could make him feel distant and pull back from the relationship for a while. Expect more silence than support.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he's not likely to pick fights or say hurtful things, but inside he may feel troubled and uneasy. Instead of congratulating you, he might keep his feelings to himself and become even quieter, sometimes acting distant without explaining why. He won't lash out, but don't expect him to be your cheerleader either.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He's pretty careful with money and likes to keep things in order. You will rarely find him making impulse purchases or spending wildly. Instead, he prefers knowing where his money goes and keeping track of expenses. It's unlikely you'll worry about hidden debts or sudden big buys with him.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He lives within his means and doesn't try to act like he's richer than he really is. You won't see him showing off or buying things just to impress others. It's unlikely you'll find him pretending or exaggerating about his lifestyle.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's quite reserved when it comes to both money and showing kindness. You probably won't see him giving gifts or helping out just because someone needs it. He's more likely to keep things to himself and avoid emotional displays. When it comes to spending, he isn't wasteful, but he isn't generous either.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He's mostly open and clear about money matters, so you won't have to worry about secrets or surprises. He likes everything to be organized and easy to understand, which means he'll usually talk about budgets and spending openly, or at least not hide things from you. With him, financial honesty is more important than drama or games.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to think housework needs to be organized and done well, but he may not step up to share the load himself. His mindset is more about keeping things neat than making sure it's fair for everyone. He isn't the type to jump in quickly, so you might have to ask him for help or set clear plans together.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's more likely to help by watching and pointing out what needs doing rather than rolling up his sleeves and actually doing the chores or changing diapers. You might find him making lists or reminding you about tasks, but not joining in unless asked directly. He values tidiness and order, but prefers supervising over hands on work.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He is not very likely to argue just to prove he's right, but at the same time, he doesn't really make an effort to understand your feelings or see things your way. Instead of talking it out, he often goes silent or distances himself when there's a disagreement. He may listen quietly, but won't ask questions or show much care about your side.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he won't say hurtful things or act aggressive. Instead, he's more likely to keep quiet, shut himself off, or walk away from the situation. He doesn't shout or pick fights, and you won't have to worry about ugly words or gestures.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he does not get angry quickly. He usually stays calm and avoids explosive reactions, even when things get tough. Instead of showing rage or snapping at you, he tends to go silent and pulls away when upset.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He isn't quick to blame you when things go wrong, but he also struggles to say sorry or take responsibility openly. Usually, he will stay quiet, avoid the topic, or withdraw until the issue blows over. You won't get blamed, but you might not hear a true apology or see him making up for mistakes.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he will respect your boundaries and understands that no means no. He does not push or force you into anything. Whether it's about personal space, physical affection, or decisions, you won't have to worry about him crossing lines or ignoring your feelings.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he's not the type to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of feeling hurt or being offended, he tends to accept it quietly and won't push or guilt you about it. He might become even more silent or distant, but you won't find him complaining or starting a fight.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to keep private moments safe and not use them against you or make you feel embarrassed later. He isn't the kind of person who shares secrets or brings up personal things to win an argument. He values his own privacy and will respect yours too.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is likely to be faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He isn't highly social or flirtatious and tends to keep to himself rather than seeking attention outside the relationship. He values stability and routine, so sticking with one partner feels right for him.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he isn't over possessive or controlling, and he doesn't act jealous or suspicious often. He tends to keep to himself and doesn't worry much about what you're doing or who you're with. His style is more distant than watchful, giving you space rather than trying to control you.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, he isn't the kind of man whose protective behavior is really about control. He doesn't push strict rules or keep close watch over you, and he rarely gets involved in your choices unless asked. His caring side is quiet and practical, not demanding or smothering.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to see parenting as something that needs to be organized, but he may expect you to carry most of the responsibility. He might help with planning routines or setting rules, but the everyday care, feeding, cleaning, comforting, may end up falling more on you unless you ask for help directly. He isn't selfish or uncaring, just not naturally hands on or deeply involved.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He isn't likely to yell or punish harshly. Instead, he might go quiet, withdraw, or give them space until things settle down. Calmness is his strength, though warmth may be missing.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He will respect your choices and give you space to be both a mother and your own person. He isn't controlling or possessive, so he won't pressure you to focus only on family or ignore your personal needs. You might not get enthusiastic support or deep encouragement, but you'll have the freedom to shape your life.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, this isn't the kind of man who supports your career now, but will later pressure you to quit once you have a child. He's not likely to switch his attitude or suddenly demand that you give up your work. You won't have to worry about him using tricks or emotional pressure to change your path.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's likely to act polite on the surface with your parents rather than show real warmth. You'll see him keeping things respectful and orderly when he meets them, but not going out of his way to build a close, loving bond. His kindness is quiet and reserved, not openly affectionate or warm. He's more likely to keep his own ways and expect your family to adjust to him rather than making a big effort to fit in.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will usually handle it calmly and avoid making things worse. You won't see him shout, start arguments, or add drama to the situation. Instead, he's likely to keep quiet, step back, or let you take the lead in solving the problem.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you, but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is likely to be modern and practical with you in private, but may expect you to act like a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. When family is around, he values order and routines, so he may want you to follow customs, dress properly, and keep up appearances. It's wise to talk about this early and decide what you're comfortable with.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension with his relatives, he is most likely to stay out of it rather than openly support you or side with them. He doesn't like getting into arguments or emotional messes, so he'll avoid picking sides and may remain quiet while the tension passes. This means you could feel alone in tough moments, wishing for stronger backing.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He isn't exactly a mummy's boy, but he also doesn't easily stand up against his mother for you. When there's a conflict, he will most likely step back and avoid getting involved rather than openly choosing your side. He doesn't like confrontations and prefers keeping peace, even if it means you feel unsupported.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He's not likely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He values privacy and prefers keeping personal matters to himself, even when things aren't perfect between you. For your relationship, this helps build trust, as you can rely on him not to bring others into your private world.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all we know about him, This guy is a B minus. This guy is a risky bet from a relationship perspective. Being with this man day in and day out means life is quiet, orderly, and mostly drama free, but sometimes distant. You'll enjoy stability and know what to expect, but may find yourself wishing for more warmth, emotional closeness, or teamwork, especially during tough times.